This is Daily Flash with Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Broadcasting worldwide and streaming. Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Mitch English, and this is Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends. We're so happy to have you along here. Hopefully you'll have a great, wonderful day as we get close in and we get closer to summer. Maybe very relaxing times for you. I had a very relaxing weekend, and it was a float tank. You ever done one of these float tanks?
Oh, the deprivation tank?
Yes, it is one of the wildest feelings in the world. So, which is proven, people that have PTSD, people that you just need to relax. It says it gets rid of a lot of anxiety, and it's supposed to make you more creative. Right?
Okay.
And so as they were telling me how to do it, I get in the pond and you get in there, and there's so much salt in the water, it literally feels like somebody's holding your arms up. And so and you really do float. So that's first off what you get. What people like me though, whose brain is constantly moving, I was like, okay, calm down, breathe, concentrate on breathing. I'm breathing. Listen to my breathing. Did I put garlic on the chicken or a dinner today? How much time on that? Oh my gosh, did we set? I could not stop. And they said that's what you have to do in order just to let your mind go.
Drop off the dry cleaning. When do I do that webcast, the podcast?
10 times.
Yeah.
And I wanted to really get the full experience of it. Meanwhile, my wife, who also had done it, who meditates all the time and knows how to do it, she's like, oh my gosh, I feel so relaxed. But I did feel later on in the day, I was really energetic and that sort of thing. Okay. So it's good that they have those sort of things. Yeah. So I take it you've never done it.
I've never done it.
You should. It's really
I'd
cool.
like to. I just watched one of those home improvement shows, Rock the Block. I watch a lot of television. I'm just going to admit it.
Cool, you do. Which is fine.
And they put in a deprivation tank in in their wellness room that they designed. And so it's just kind of this cool, for your home. And I'm like, well, that's kind of interesting.
1,000 pounds of salt is how much it takes. Yeah, it costs about $800, and you have to change it out about every 2 years, I think, because we wanted this. I wonder what
a home deprivation
float tank would be at the house, and it's $13,000 investment first off, but I could see it if you just need an escape to get away. My only problem is they told me how to turn the light off. They had like a light in there because I wanted it pitch black. I couldn't figure it out, and so I was obsessed with like floating over, trying to hit the button back and forth. Yeah. Could not do it, so I'm going to give it another try next time, and maybe, I don't know, maybe try to be tired when I go do it.
Try to be tired, okay.
That's my take.
I'm being told my mic fell down, and he keeps telling me in my ear, and I'm like, okay, I got it. So I'm just gonna go right in between the
when we say there's been more mics down Andrea's shirt, we're talking about microphones.
Yes. Well,
Well, hey.
there was a time.
The 80s were a good time, right?
All right, here we go. Yes.
All right, let's, of course, get to the most important part of our show, which
that is James.
Sweet baby James.
Right now, I'm thinking it's the mic.
Right, too.
It's that mic. Hey, your social media guru. All right, I'm here to tell you 219 stations is where you can find us. You can find us across the globe with American Forces Network. And all you have to do is just go to our website, dailyflashshow.com, and click on where to watch to find out where we are in your neck of the woods. And I want you to go there to also sound off on our question of the day,
which is,
which TV show finale hurt you most?
Hurt me most as in disappointed, or hurt me most that it was over?
Disappointed.
It's Seinfeld for me, number one. Seinfeld, and a lot of people had said that it was great because they went back and looked, and Larry David came back. But I don't think that if you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, I believe the 7th or 8th season, they did a whole thing about redoing the last episode of Seinfeld, and I think they redeemed themselves a little bit because that one was so much better in my opinion than the actual Seinfeld.
Mad Men comes to mind.
Yeah.
I was super disappointed in that. And of course, The Sopranos, that legendary, blackout.
That one.
That was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Controversy.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little lazy because it's like, well, we want the audience to figure out. No, we invested all this time.
And then you just turn the lights out.
We could have written this.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Exactly.
Can I tell you something that, speaking of television shows, that I'm pretty sure after the second episode, they hired some elementary school teacher to write
man.
Which one?
La Brea. Have you seen it?
Oh, the one on is that the one on?
Oh,
However, it's about
is that the one on?
However, it's about basically it's Land of the Lost, but
The La Brea Tar Pits?
The La Brea Tar
Yeah.
Pits, basically center of the earth, and come to find out they go
terrible.
back in time. Oh my God,
It is terrible.
But I'm on the second season, and I can't stop watching
It's
this
so bad.
piece of crap TV show.
Train wreck. Train wreck.
Horrible acting, horrible plots.
Yeah.
Nothing makes sense
So-
at all.
And you're hooked.
That's crazy.
And I'm hooked, and I can't stop watching.
James, how about you?
So I'm going to be a little controversial. The Simpsons. Because I think that show ended
Oh, it needed
a
that.
decade
Good point.
ago.
Oh.
And right now we're only looking at predictions. It's been right so far.
Isn't that weird that it's found those
Very
things?
weird.
I think the craziest one for me is Trump going down the escalator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so
That's
weird
crazy.
because it's almost identical to it. It's
Yeah.
freaky about it. Matt Groening must be La Brea
Brea.
because it's about time travel, and he must have known something about that. Yeah, I agree with you. And the problem with it is the characters never age.
No.
Yeah.
they
So
don't.
that's
I
why
mean,
it's longevity.
How many times
Yeah.
can Bart get in trouble?
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of
That's a
like
good
Good
point.
question.
over
yeah.
and over again. So, a decade ago it should have stopped.
Yeah.
I'll agree with
Okay,
you.
all right, very good. Well, let us know what you think. We love to make you a big part of the show, and in order to do that, you got to get to our website and email this guy, and he'll put you on the air.
Come
you
on,
just
baby.
got to
That's it.
share your thoughts and feelings. Which TV show finale disappointed you the most? Okay, a South Carolina couple stirring up some controversy with their age gap and their dating rules. First, the age gap, 34 years.
Okay.
She's 26, he's 60. Now for their rules. Well, their first non-negotiable, daily prayer together.
I like that.
Couple prays every night is the last thing they do. They say it's a way to center themselves, share their gratitude. They also say no drinking alone. They only consume alcohol when they're together, framing it as a special commitment rather than a restriction. They serve each other even in conflict. They commit to kindness and acts of service, like head massages during arguments, separating disagreements from basic courtesy. And they also say another rule, no keeping score, inspired by one of their fathers. They aim to give 100% each instead of 50-50.
James is talking about that.
Advise against mentally tracking slights or grievances. Now, the public backlash and the response, well, the critics slammed the rules as what they considered forced, while many fixated on the age gap.
All right, if it's working for them, number one, there is a lot of problems. Having dated, and I've told you that, I've dated 17 years younger and I've dated 17 years older. And I would take 17 years older any day. Nothing
Really?
against her, only because, I was the problem,
Yeah.
And well, actually, both relationships, I was always the problem. Either immature or
not mature enough.
I should be mature, but I
Yeah.
wasn't. If they laid out the rules and it's working fine for them, great. They sound like, hey, look, I know there's an age difference. We're going to have to do something here to make sure
Yeah.
this works. Why anybody would want 24 years difference?
24.
I
Yeah,
mean,
24.
You can see why the guy would want to, and maybe, right?
Yeah.
He has a character.
Bill Bell.
Yes, and
his
they're
caregiver.
both a beautiful couple. He's in great shape, and she's gorgeous too. So you can see there's obviously physical attraction there.
I like the rule thing, though.
yeah, I,
mean,
do
that's
too.
what
I
works for
don't
them.
see a problem with it. James.
I think it's kind of like when you have that much of an age gap, right? He's 60, she's 26.
There's 24 years
Yeah.
difference.
Okay, 24, 34.
34. I'm sorry, 34. She's 26.
I said 24. My bad.
My bad. 34 years
I
age.
ca- I-
She's 26. He's 60.
I think with that much of an age gap, he's kind of coming off her as her father instead of her husband.
Well,
And that
Bill
happens a lot.
Belichick and his
and you
girlfriend.
talking about,
Yeah.
we have to have these rules in place, like he's controlling her because he's. I mean,
Oh, so
you know what I'm
think
saying?
he's-
So I think.
Oh.
Now, although I agree with the whole drinking and all that stuff,
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be careful. But I mean, you already got 10 more years because you got all the insurance. I hope you didn't sign a prenup.
And so because we're so jaded as
Yes.
wherever we are, we look at the 26-year-olds like there is going to come a time where he's like, I want to see the world, I want to do this, I've been tied
Yeah.
up. But then she probably can because by the time she's 40, he probably is not going to be around, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that is
I'm not
true.
trying to make fun of it, but
Well, it
that's
is what
the
it is.
reality.
No.
And hopefully he has a really good life insurance policy.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be part of it. I mean, it's like I can lead into that. It's if it works, it works. works. I think that those rules are spot on. I love the praying thing but at the end of the day, that's something, no matter how you feel about it, it's something they're doing together.
I always think it's nice if you can end your day with some kind of gratitude. And
Right.
if you can share that
That's great.
together, I think that's a nice bonding experience. It's simple, it doesn't cost you anything.
Right.
Just a little bit of time.
It's great, but I just think it's,
You think it's forced?
Yes.
And phony?
Yes.
Yeah, and the critics would
Yes.
agree with you because they don't buy into it. They think it's especially considering the
Little
age
much.
gap.
Yeah. Especially if he wants a kid.
Yeah, maybe that's probably
Maybe.
why he went with
Al Pacino.
Yeah.
All right. Before we head to break, we always want to give you our brain flash question of the day. Today it is.
It is which planet in our solar system has the shortest day? We're going to have that answer for you right after this when we return with more of today's trends and tomorrow's top. Welcome back to Daily Flash. Let's see if you got today's brain flash question right. Here is the question. Which planet in our solar system has the shortest day?
I want to say Mercury. I should probably know this.
I would have said Mercury too, but the answer is Jupiter.
Interesting.
Jupiter
Okay.
has the shortest day.
Well, like I said, I hope that isn't a weekend. That'd be the only bad.
What if you
It's
age?
Monday.
Maybe you age quicker on Jupiter.
I bet you would. Yeah, you're right. Hey, welcome back to the big show. Mitch English along with Andrea Jackson. We all love to travel and take places and go to places that are just beautiful, right?
Yes.
But what if the real destination is actually deeper connection with the people that we love?
Here with some insight is relationship and trauma expert, Dr. Janie Lacy.
Hey,
Hi, Dr. Lacy.
Dr. Lacy.
Hey there.
So-
Great to see you.
Absolutely. So let's talk about relationship habits and travel relationship habits. What do we learn when we travel with somebody?
When we look at travel, to me, it's just right. It's a diagnostic tool about what's going on in your relationship. If you strip away the routine, the familiarity, the comfort of home, you see, Mitch, who your partner really is, how they
think you're
handle
right.
stress. You'll see how they communicate when things go sideways, because we know vacation doesn't always go the way that we planned. And you see, right, Andrea, who takes charge, who shuts down, who gets flexible, and who gets rigid. So every micro decision becomes a mirror. And when we think about when our couples come to therapy after they've gone on vacation, because the patterns brings people that they bring to a trip are the patterns that they bring to the relationship, what they bring to the relationship room with us. You don't become difficult on vacation. Vacation just makes it harder to hide it.
That's true.
You're 100% right,
It
yeah.
is. I think a vacation is the true test of any relationship. Why do you think the vacation time matters so much? I mean, in general, yes, but for couples specifically.
I think a lot of times couples think that vacation is a luxury, but I like to reframe that completely, right? Especially for women who are always grinding and hustling and trying to hold everything together, right? We know that oxytocin is released, that bonding hormone, when you have shared experiences with your partner. I mean, you literally are neurochemically drawn closer to each other through shared adventure. So we know that. So, but behind the science, right? Here's what I would want people to know from the therapy room. Vacation gives couples presence. Think about it. And presence is what most couples are starving for. We always hear it in therapy. We just want more time. You take away the distraction in daily life, travel forces you to be here together. And that's not a small thing. I think that's everything for couples.
So would you say those challenges eventually they'll make the couple stronger? It sounds like, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
When we kind of
go ahead.
you think about it, we look at it as like a stress resilience model in relationships. The ideal is that when couples navigate small stressors together, like let's think about it. We've all traveled, delayed flight, a wrong turn,
Yep.
hotel mix up, whatever it may be.
Directions.
Direction.
And the lack of asking for stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? They're actually practicing skills that they're going to
Yeah,
need
you're
for the
right.
bigger life challenges. They build what we call that relationship coping capacity. Couples who we know that tackle shared challenges together during vacation, they report deeper emotional intimacy and higher levels of trust and satisfaction. But I think the bigger question that we want to ask there is why? Because when someone shows up for you in a hard moment, even a small one, it signals, especially for women, safety. And safety is the foundation of real
Yeah,
intimacy.
that is so
that's
true.
That's a good point. Yeah, I didn't think about
A microcosm to the test of any relationship is a good escape room. I'll tell you that for sure. What mistakes do traveling couples make, in your
Oh,
opinion?
yeah. I'm getting ready
Well,
for
I
these.
think they make a lot of mistakes, Andrea, but I think the top ones that come to mind, one is just not having the money conversation. if you haven't had a real conversation about spending expectations before you travel, I mean, you're setting
Ooh,
yourself
good
up, right?
point. Yeah.
You're just setting yourself up for conflict. That feels like
Yes.
it's about money, but is it really? I mean, really, to me, it's about respect and control, right? So that's hands down the first one is having
Yeah.
the money conversation. What's going to be your budget? Another one I would say is about planning, because there's usually one person who plans, and then I hate to say usually she, but she resents
No,
it,
you're
right?
right.
You know, and the travel planning again is just a microcosm of the relationship labor. So if one person is researching, booking, managing, and coordinating, and the other one just shows up, right? There's an imbalance that already exists in the relationship, and
Mm.
travel just makes it visible and louder for many
All
people.
right.
Well, because
And
there's always one person that was like, "Oh, let's don't plan anything," and then the other person is, "We need to plan everything," and
exactly,
there's the problem.
Yeah.
exactly. And if I had to, go ahead, Mitch.
Well, everything you saying because we're going to Italy, and I'm like, man, I got some work to do apparently because. I know you're right, but what I wanted to say about this, how important it is to travel, is you said at the top, is that you get these memories, and just as you
Yes.
take pictures, and it reminds you, if you think about it, like if it was a good trip or bad trip, you don't want to put the bad trip pictures up there, but it reminds you. And we just did this week because I just had my anniversary a couple weeks ago, and a picture popped up, and we had to talk, and it was great to talk about and feel those feelings again.
Yeah.
So I wholeheartedly agree with you on everything you're saying. I just got to do a better job on planning. And I used to be the planner. I used to be the guy that would plan everything.
Now you're like spur of the moment. Let's do whatever we want.
Well, I kind of let her handle it.
Okay.
Do you see this a lot? We only have a few seconds here, but like, well, I want to make sure I want to make sure you have a good time. So like, I don't want to plan. I want to make sure you do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Does that happen a lot? You hear?
Yeah, I think if you communicate and you share what your expectations are along the way, it can reveal that you're both on the same page, and then there's no resentment. If she says, "You know what, of course, Mitch, I love to plan our vacation," because she is a planner
She is
and
a
she
planner.
likes,
Ooh.
yeah, and she likes order, where you
Yeah.
may be more spontaneous. So you're working from your places of strength versus your places of weakness, or we're not communicating.
Wonderful. Dr. Janie Lacy, thank you
She's
so much.
awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, and they made me feel a little bit better now. I'm going to
Yeah.
follow your advice. And if you want to find out more advice as well, you can, of course, watch this interview all over again. And we'll share this interview on our website at dailyflashshow.com/FMI. Our website's always waiting for you.
Yeah, 24/7. Stay with us.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm James Alexander, and here's your question of the day. What moment made you realize technology was changing fast? You can go to dailyflashshow.com and leave you a message. Just don't breathe heavy on the phone. I don't. Actually, I kind of like that. All right, guys.
I'm sure there's a robot that'll do that for you, James. Thank you so much. We got some trending stories happening around the country and the world.
Yes, we do. Backpackers accidentally crashed a funeral in Thailand after they mistook the venue for a restaurant.
What?
Okay. An attendee observed a couple of German tourists enter thinking it was an eatery. The pair sat at a table waiting for a menu, oblivious to the fact that they were in the midst of someone's funeral. The pair thought the service was a food court after hearing about the place online. Hoping to ease their embarrassment, family invited them to stay for the reception.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm sure whoever's funeral was, they probably appreciate even more people and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Honest mistake, I could see that because it doesn't look like it's a familiar or like a traditional restaurant or whatever, and I'm
Yeah.
sure there's places like that in Taiwan. But how nice of them to keep
I
them
know.
on.
I got to share this story
Sure.
with you. When I was in Colorado visiting family, my uncle was talking about his trip to New Zealand, and they'd done this, 10 years ago. And they went with some friends, and it was a driving vacation. So they started at one end of New Zealand and drove to the other end of New Zealand.
Okay.
And he said in the process of it, somehow he lost control of the car rental because they were in one of these RV type things, and he crashed into this woman's hut, and she had kind of like a shanty cover set up.
Makes
and
sense.
he was and he was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Let me fix it." So he went through this whole thing. They sent him to the middle of town, and the person said, "Well, are you here to see our toilet?" And he's like, "No, I think you misunderstand me. I ran into this woman's thing and I need to fix it." He goes, "No, aren't you here to see our toilet? And he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Well, and then the woman goes on to say, make sure before you leave to go check out the toilet. And he's like, I don't understand why all these people are telling me to go look at this toilet. So he's like, fine, we'll go look at the toilet. Apparently some Dutch architect created this bizarre toilet in the middle of this small town in New Zealand next to the hut where he crashed into.
That is awesome. Here's the thing. That's the beauty of traveling around the country.
Yes, exactly. He's like, I would have never known there was this world-class architectural toilet in the middle of New Zealand had I not crashed into this woman's hut.
Come to New Zealand for the views, stay for the toilet. I love that. That actually should be Daily Flash.
Yeah.
All right. We come back here to the States and we go up to Long Island, where one Long Island preschool is actually such a big hit with the kids. Parents actually want to sign up too.
Yeah.
It's known as the Pertuti Language and Cultural Center. A mom and former teacher started it as a way to celebrate her Italian heritage. She says that she spends at least 90% of her day speaking to the kids in Italian. And her background includes teaching Italian and Spanish to middle and high school students. The kids learn all kinds of things about the Italian culture, like growing a vegetable garden, kneading pizza dough, as well as playing bocce ball. She offers evening language and culture courses to the parents of the other grown-ups as well, so they can get along. I love this idea. If you have a gift, which obviously she's trilingual, it sounds like, share it with everybody, and because there are people that want to have those experiences. I'm going to Italy. It would be great if something like this was in town. I could find out more on what to expect, maybe talk the language.
I watched more of the Winter Olympics this year than I have ever
Oh,
watched
really?
before. And the fact that it was in Italy, it was like a postcard from start to finish. And I can only imagine that tourism in Italy, not only is it great now, but it will skyrocket because it was so beautiful.
We're going in June, which they say that's the time where, at the beginning of June,
Yeah.
they say end of June, it's like packed. So we'll wait and see. I've always wanted to go, and now I go. And how about having just a little bit of it with a teacher? Right?
Yeah, I know. And then the final closing ceremonies they did
Yeah.
inside the Roman Colosseum. It was incredible.
Okay, so it was the actual one because I thought I thought that one's older than the one in Rome. It's not in Rome because it's Corsica.
Verona. Yeah, and they do special events inside of it.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's in Verona, and it was phenomenal.
Really?
I mean, what a backdrop. They've done several fashion shows and different events. It's a small group. It can't contain a lot of people, but it's really spectacular.
And that one that they were in is
Yeah.
older than the other one,
I
from my
believe
understanding.
so. Yeah,
Somebody told me.
yeah.
Interesting.
Well, a heroic skier captured the heart-pounding moment. He dug a man out from under a pile of fresh snow after an avalanche in Switzerland. 37-year-old Matteo Zio was racing down the Swiss slopes when he noticed a foot.
Oh, wow. Look at this, y'all.
poking out from the snow. The trapped skier had been carving up the slopes, failed to see a group of small bushes, causing him to flip over into a fresh pile of snow. Zillow quickly removed the snow from his face and mouth to check to see if he was okay. Thankfully, the skier was not hurt, and they were able to dig him out from the heavy snowfall.
For some reason, I remembered this from Boy Scouts. If you're ever stuck in an avalanche, you know what you're supposed to do?
No.
You're supposed to spit. The reason why is because when you are under all that snow, you don't know if you're upside down or not. So if you spit and if it goes up your face, that means you're upside down. I don't know why I know that and remember that.
I will never forget that.
It makes sense, right?
It does.
Because they say, I've never been stuck in snow, but I imagine you don't
That
know
would
how
be
you are.
Completely disoriented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sharing that wisdom to you, and we'll do more of it.
Yes.
It's the sound of Daily Flash is alive.
This is Daily Flash with Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Broadcasting worldwide and streaming. Daily Flash. Today's talk, tomorrow's trends.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash. Today's trends, tomorrow's talk. Before we do anything, let's check in with James Alexander. Sweet baby James.
That's right. Your social media guru who's saying, look, go to our website and check out all the social channels of where we are. And you can find us on the 219 stations
The Godfather.
The Godfather all of a sudden.
across the country and the American Forces Network across the globe.
We keep pulling you back in.
Keep pulling you back in. Now, when you go on our
offer
website,
you
you
can't
click on where to
refuse.
watch and find out where we are in your neck of the woods. And today, our local friend comes from a very special place in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Oh, is that right?
KUMITV, Kumi TV. I hope I said that correctly. Kumi TV.
Sure.
And Santa Fe, New Mexico. And New Mexico is a special state.
Yeah.
And Santa Fe is a special city in that state.
It is a really cool city.
Yeah.
It is
really
the
is
oldest
neat.
state capital in the U.S.,
Is it
founded
really?
in
It is, yep, yep.
1610.
Oh, wow.
It has the oldest public building in America, the Palace of Governors,
How about that?
and no city skyscrapers, which I thought was interesting.
Yes.
I've never seen that.
Okay, and you know what's cool about it is they all the buildings, even the signs. So if you opened up a McDonald's there,
Yeah.
you have to follow their code, which is kind of
Pueblo
style.
Southwest, yeah.
And so it's everywhere is like that.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
a lot
wow.
of celebrities. Gene Hackman, of course, we know about.
Julia Roberts.
And Julia Roberts
Roberts.
lived there as well.
Oh, wow.
And it's an art community you would not believe.
Yeah.
They have this one event. I can't recall the name of it, but basically it's where you bring everything and you burn it. Like all your bad stuff's in your life, and you go and you
Really?
burn it, and it's getting rid of
Witchcraft.
Well, I don't know about witch, but you can call it that. And also, a lot of people don't
It's a
know
joke.
this
Yeah.
is that a lot of Southern like rebels during the Civil War, they went to
Really?
there was a fort in Santa Fe for the South.
A Confederate fort?
Confederate
Wow.
fort. Can you believe that? Isn't that crazy?
What is it? We're far away from the danger.
I think, yeah, that's that's where I would have been. Yeah.
I want to be stationed over there.
I go, hey, look, I'm going to
Exactly.
Santa Fe.
Let's go to New Mexico, land of enchantment.
It's gorgeous out there.
All right, James, thank you.
All right, we're so thankful to, I'm sure, that live in this world where technology is really helping us out, but especially when it comes to medical stuff. Happening here in Orlando, you're going to love this story. Little baby Cassin Joubert is actually being called the baby who was born twice after doctors at Orlando Health's Winnie Palmer Hospital partially delivered him in a rare life-saving surgery. Check this out. He had a dangerous condition. It was called congenital high airway obstruction syndrome. And when he was 25 weeks old, surgeons brought out his head and his arms, created an airway, and then put it back in the womb
What?
so that he can continue to live. The pregnancy continued on. 6 weeks later, he was delivered again after more than 4 months in the NICU. He went home just before Christmas. The story's actually coming out now because I think they wanted to make sure that he remained healthy.
okay, yeah.
But this is amazing if you
Born
think about
twice.
all the things that we hear about, all these procedures like Brazilian butt lifts and all this cosmetics, but you think about where science has actually taken us,
Right.
Yeah.
And to be able to do something like this so this baby can live, and you should see it. Look at his pictures. I mean, just gorgeous.
Oh
cute.
my God.
So what's considered his birthday?
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
So
too.
I'm like, I'm sitting there. I mean, he came out, although you shoved him back in. He came out.
He did. It took him
So,
out halfway too.
Right.
Like,
So I'm like, so what is considered his birthday? Now the kid is lucky to get 2 birthdays.
100%.
Yeah, celebrates
parties.
twice.
And the best nickname, Turtle. Right? I mean, I gave him that nickname.
Turtle.
But technically, he did kind of do that, right?
Yeah, he
like
did.
they only took him out to his shoulders, did the
And pushed him back
operation,
in.
and put him back. I mean, to me, when I heard this story, and it's happening here in Orlando, that how far we have gone to save human life,
Yeah.
as well as the technology that we have. And I know a lot of times we do stuff
Right,
with
right.
Orlando Health all the time, and how they do incredible work.
Yep.
It's so great to hear stuff like this.
Wow, that's
I would say
amazing.
the first. I think this kid deserves 2 birthdays.
Well,
Yeah.
and let's talk about the mom. The fact that she was willing to allow that
absolutely.
and allow those doctors to, carry through with that procedure,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that she had to sort of partially birth her baby and then take it back inside. God bless her. I mean,
Yes,
my
all the stuff
goodness.
that went through, her body went through.
Yes.
Yeah. You can see how proud they are in those pictures that
Yeah.
we showed.
That's
All right,
awesome.
we have more Flash coming up.
Yeah, stay with us. We're back right after this. Today's trends, tomorrow's top. We've got it all right here. You miss a minute. you
That's
miss
a lot.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Andrea Jackson. Every year around 420, the date, April 20th, there is a surge in marijuana toxicity cases in dogs and cats, and it can lead to serious health problems for our pets. Joining us with advice in studio today is Medical Director of VEG, ER for Pets. It's Dr. Leanne Merritt. Doctor, good to see you again.
Thank you so much for having me.
So this is interesting. What are some signs a pet owner might notice if they suspect their dog or cat may have ingested cannabis?
Yeah, absolutely. This is very common. We see quite a bit of cases on this in the ER, especially around this time. So some clinical signs we usually see is a lot of incoordination, kind of like those videos we were seeing. Most of the time they're dribbling urine. Sometimes they can be vomiting and just very wobbly when they're walking. The symptoms kind of can array though from very mild to very severe, leading to sometimes seizures and being comatose. So depending on what type they got into and how much.
Okay, so what are some do's and don'ts if we think our pet might be at risk?
Yeah. I think the first thing is don't panic,
Okay.
We're here to help you, especially veg. We're 24/7.
Maybe you need to indulge in some of those gummies, I'm just saying.
Don't panic. You can definitely get to your ER as soon as possible, right? I think it's really helpful to know what exactly it is.
Yeah.
So we can start that decontamination process and figure out how quickly, we can help your pet if we know exactly what it is, depending on what form it's in.
Okay, decontamination process, so what does that involve?
Yeah. So sometimes they need, supportive care and very mild treatments versus more serious, depending on, if it was in a brownie or a chocolate chip cookie or and with other ingredients.
Okay.
So it's very helpful to know.
Edibles, a big concern. Why are they considered the bigger danger?
Yeah, I think it depends on the potency of it too. And
good
then
point.
sometimes it also has some hidden ingredients like xylitol, which can be very dangerous for our pets.
Yes. Okay. There has been, from what I understand, a 300% jump in these types of pet emergency calls. So what's driving the increase?
Yeah, I think this time of year too, it's, more frequently we see it, and pets love to get into things. They are very smart and very creative. So keeping it as locked away as possible. And then we see a lot of, hey, it was tossed in the backyard or then picked it up on a walk. And, the sooner they can get to the ER, the sooner we can help them.
Okay, let's talk prevention. What are the simplest, most effective ways pet owners can keep their animals safe around 420?
Yeah, I think especially amatoxins, like keeping everything locked up in cabinets, they really do a good job of sniffing it out. So even like something very small like oil or butter or any part of the plant or whatever it is, they can find it and get it, and it can be very toxic.
I know that some pet companies market certain pet products with CBD oil and such. So how do we determine what's good and appropriate for a pet or a pet dosage versus something that's okay for humans and a human dosage?
Yeah, I think if it has veterinary labeled and it's CBD, then that's something that you can buy over the counter for your pet. Versus if it's something for your own use, then try to keep that as away as possible.
Yeah, makes sense, but I think a lot of people think, well, it's okay for me, it should be okay for the dog, right? I can take Benadryl, my pet can take Benadryl.
Yeah, definitely not. And they become very symptomatic very quickly too. So you'll definitely know if they got into something.
Does it matter the size of the pet? A larger dog, a smaller dog, a cat?
Yeah, I mean, we see it more frequently in dogs than cats for sure, because they're just following their noses usually.
Yeah.
But I think the potency of it. So if you have any type of labels or ingredients or the packaging, that is super helpful. And I think the thing is just being honest with your veterinarian. We're here to help. We're not judging you. We don't care. We just want to treat your pet and make sure they're okay.
That's a great point, because I think a lot of people would be embarrassed. I don't know what he got into, which you really do know what he got into.
Even if you have like a slightest idea,
share.
Please share with your vet. So we can start that process.
Dr. Merritt, always good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to share this interview on our website, dailyflashshow.com/FMI. A very important topic, veg.com, VegER. Dr. Leanne Merritt, always a pleasure to have you in studio. Thank you.
Life Love Shopping is a weekly 30-minute lifestyle show hosted by Andrea Jackson. It's focused on the latest trends for your health, home, and happiness. Life Love Shopping offers viewers ways to improve their life and style, wellness, and relationships. If you live it, love it, or buy it, Life Love Shopping will talk about it.
We start today's show with the happiest jobs in America. A recent study found physical therapists take the top spot when it comes to job satisfaction.
Life Love Shopping, your life and style guide from A to Z.
Breast augmentation remains one of the most commonly performed cosmetic procedures here in the U.S. Board-certified plastic surgeon Dr. Daniel Andry joins us now with more. Doctor, breast augmentation has been around for decades. Why is it still such a popular procedure?
So breast augmentation remains one of the most popular procedures that we perform, with over 300,000 procedures performed every year. I think a driving factor in that is that patients want to pursue breast augmentation for so many different reasons. Some want to achieve a certain look, others want to restore volume after pregnancy, breastfeeding, weight changes, or other changes to their body, and some are looking for some asymmetry correction.
What trends are you seeing, and what advice would you give someone considering this kind of procedure?
So we're definitely seeing more transparency, where you're seeing a lot of celebrities and influencers openly discuss their breast augmentation journey. And I think that Natrelle has really tied into that with the Faces of Natrelle campaign. And that is a campaign where patients are sharing their personal stories. And that gives people, some type of sense that they're not alone in this journey.
How important is it to have options when it comes to breast implants? And also, you mentioned Natrelle. What makes Natrelle implants unique, and how are new tools helping patients make decisions about surgery?
So having options is so important, and Natrelle has over 300 implant options. That's so important for doctors so that we can look at the 5 different types of profiles that they offer, 3 types of gummy cohesivities, and that's the gummy gel silicone, and that really allows us to tailor that journey to the patient. The other thing that Natrelle is doing is they have partnered with Chrysalix, and that allows patients to try on those implants virtually and really get a sense of how those implants are going to look and feel in their bodies.
It's incredible technology, and it is changing the game for sure. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to post this interview on our website at dailyflashshow.com/FMI.
And as Lent begins, seafood becomes a go-to for many households. We got a few simple ideas to make dinner easier, more flexible, and full of flavor.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Hill Booker, chef and Maury's maestro. For many households, Lent is rooted in tradition, but it's also a time when people refresh mealtime routines. As seafood takes center stage, flexibility and flavor are becoming just as important as tradition itself. The Lenten season naturally gets people thinking about seafood, but sometimes they're intimidated by preparing it. What I love about Maury's is it's ready when you are. When seafood is already seasoned and sauced, we can focus more on exploring new flavors, new sides, and new moments. That freedom matters, especially for shoppers who feel unsure navigating a traditional seafood counter or planning meals around a tight expiration window. Approachable, chef-crafted options can remove the pressure and make seafood feel more inviting for everyday meals. When seafood fits your schedule, it gives you the freedom to enjoy it on your own terms. This Lent, explore seafood without limits. Learn more at Maury's.com.
In honor of National Caregivers Day, we are joined by Dr. Lakeland Eichenberger and Maureen Walsh. So, doctor, tell us about the Home Instead and how you help families.
Home Instead provides in-home care for older adults, helping them age safely and comfortably with dignity and joy in the place they love most, their home. And for more than 30 years, we've supported families through personalized, relationship-based care delivered by our trained care professionals in communities around the world. Our care pros assist with everyday needs like personal care, companionship, meal preparation, mobility support, and specialized care for people living with memory loss or chronic conditions. And we also take a connected care approach, combining relationship-based support with technology to provide real-time updates and shared care information so families stay informed and feel confident even when they can't be there. And today, Home Instead has more than 650 locations across the U.S. and Canada, and over 60,000 care pros providing that trusted care to families every day.
What do you want people to understand about caregiving and the role care pros play?
Caregiving is about so much more than just completing those tasks. It's really about building relationships. And our care pros take time to truly get to know the people they support, their routines, preferences, personalities, and what brings them comfort and joy. And that consistency builds trust within the home, and it helps older adults feel safe, respected, and understood day to day. And over time, that steady presence allows the care pros to really anticipate the needs and adapt to the needs as they change.
And Maureen, this one's for you. Why did you decide to become a care pro?
Well, I have been a care pro since 2019, and I grew up in a family of caregivers, doctors, nurses, other health professionals. And even though I did not go into that as a career, I grew up in that atmosphere of, caring for other people, of service to other people. And so when I was looking for part-time work later in my life, it just seemed natural to me to want to work with other people and to be a meaningful part of their lives.
Where can our viewers go for more information?
You can visit homeinstead.com to find a location near you and inquire about services.
For almost 90 years, Child Fund International has been helping kids grow up healthy, educated, and above all, safe. Their new PSA invites viewers to see firsthand how Child Fund changes lives. Check it out.
It all connects. The girl who walks for hours to bring home the family's water, the school she can't attend most days, the breakfast she didn't have, the rain that hasn't fallen in months, the danger around the next bend, her little brother's belly laugh, her mother's hug, her dreams of being a teacher, an engineer, the mayor. All the reasons life is both so hard and so beautiful. It all connects, but so do we. For children's sakes, we connect through action, through everything we do, together, so every child can grow up healthy, educated, and safe. And we won't stop.
KSA Entertainment is dedicated to uplifting the communities we serve. Through KSA Cares, we're bringing awareness to the causes that matter most, supporting those who work tirelessly to make a difference. From honoring veterans to championing environmental responsibility, KSA Cares is committed to inspiring positive change. At KSA Entertainment, we're here for the stories that bring us closer. Innovate with us.
It's time for a stream for the weekend. This is where we let you know what you need to binge watch this weekend. Jackson, what do you got?
I think we're going down a planes, trains, and automobiles pathway
really?
here. My pick for the weekend is Hijack Season 2 on Apple TV, starring Idris Elba.
So it's true then?
You're not going to like it.
This is a counter-terrorism issue. Sam Nelson flew into Berlin yesterday.
First season took place on a plane.
Okay.
Second season now on a train, and it's great. And I love him. He's terrific in everything.
Can you hijack a car? That would be the automobile
I think
part.
we're going to be. I think third season hijacking a car, and then there's going to be a trio and a box set.
Is this based off of like a line of books or anything like that?
Not that I'm aware of.
It was just,
no.
they did well the season one, so they thought they were great. Okay, very cool. So I keep seeing it. I want to check it out. You gave me the recommendation. I'm going to do it. Glenn Powell stars in the reboot of The Running Man. It's now streaming on Paramount Plus. It's where survival is ratings and losing is not an option. No, we're not talking about Daily Flash. We're talking about The Running Man.
It's just another day on our show.
That's right.
35, married, one child, in medical crisis.
We need money for a doctor now.
Ben, watch yourself.
Employment status, blacklisted. But there's still a way out for you. It's the biggest show in the country.
Bloodlust is our birthright. Set it free. Welcome to The Running Man.
All right. Well, unlike the 1987 Arnold Schwarzenegger version, I actually kind of lean hard into campy action, some one-liners as well. The reboot that you're watching, that's out now, actually sticks closer to Stephen King's novel. It's got a kind of a grittier, more realistic edge to it. The characters are not as hokey, I guess is the best thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
But it's closer to what Stephen King actually wanted. I think it's a fun, if it's on Paramount Plus, so a good watch at least for the weekend if you missed it in the theaters.
It was okay. I wasn't crazy about it. I kind of got bored halfway through, and I'm like, okay, this isn't, it just wasn't going anywhere for me as a viewer. But I mean, I wanted to like it.
It was nostalgia for me to watch it, and I was like seeing how they might have done a little bit different. This one, very good version of it. I liked it as well. That does it for our show. We want to thank you for spending time with us.
For more information on any of today's stories, be sure to visit our website, dailyflashshow.com.
Have a good weekend, y'all. Bye-bye.